In the interest of Ivory and Emery Valet, we are here today on an initial permanency hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan's making our record today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Morning, Your Honor, Counsel Gene Graff and Yolanda Novak on behalf of St. Francis, present and ready to proceed this morning.
Tracy Riley, I'm appearing for the father. He is not present, Judge, but I am ready to proceed.
Right, I'm sure you've got mom.
I'm sorry. Is this Vias or is this? Sorry, I have two hearings this morning and I think I flipped them in my brain. So yes, I am, and we are ready to proceed, Judge.
Okay.
Brooks Barfield for Jose Valet, ready to proceed.
Tristan McDaniel for the children, present and ready.
Okay, and Casa is also with us. Ms. Stashy's present, I think. No, Monica Levis, but she is still logging in. So, all right, she's present, trying to log in, it appears. We'll keep an eye. I'll keep an eye on that too. All right, then, who's going to give our update this morning?
That would be Ms. Novak, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Novak, go right ahead.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning.
I don't have an update on the children. There hasn't been any update since the court report was filed. They are doing well in placement with grandparents. We did change, St. Francis changed the permanency goal for the children last Friday, March 28th. The primary goal is now relative adoption, and the concurrent goal is relative PMC. I've been aware that the parents have asked for relinquished paperwork, and I think that's going back and forth between the attorneys. So we are just waiting for the attorneys to collaborate on that, and I think we're asking for mediation today, ma'am.
Okay, let me just find out the status of that. Ms. Riley, Mr. Barfield, have you all received those affidavits?
I have, Judge, and I have not had it executed yet, but I have received it, and my office has been in touch, and it is my understanding that that's my client's wish. And we just need to arrange to have that signed and returned. I think we just got it. I want to say maybe Friday. Yeah. So
yeah, it was last week, in fairness to the parents' attorneys.
Okay. All right. Mr. Barfield, any contact with your client?
We're kind of in the same boat as Miss Riley, Your Honor, at this particular time.
Okay. I'm happy to schedule you all a mediation, but it kind of sounds like it may not be necessary. I don't know. If you know, we can certainly look at setting one, but if you all are able to secure relinquishments, you know, we could get back in pretty quickly on this.
I would be fine with that, Your Honor.
Sure. Yeah, if ZoomCourt just wants to order it, we can at least start floating some dates around just in case the parents do decide to go a different direction, which, as you know, in these cases sometimes happens. I do believe that Mr. Valet's signed a service plan and all that, but yeah, I think if it's settled, if we get him signed before then, we can always cancel mediation.
Okay. All right. Okay, Ms. Nowak, anything else to report, really?
No, ma'am. That was everything.
Okay. So grandparents what's the current thinking? Are they serious about adoption?
I know they're serious about keeping the children. I don't know if they will want to adopt or just have PMC, but they do have a kinship worker. If they do want to adopt, that they would work with her to be licensed, and so they could get subsidy if that's what they want.
Okay. All right. Well, then Ms. Riley, anything further to report today? Okay.
Evidently.
Mr. Barfield, how about you? Anything else?
No, I have nothing further to report today. I'll just, like I say, we'll just, try to get that affidavit signed. If that's indeed what my client wants to do, we'll try to expedite that, quite frankly. I did have a question for the court. If the parents kind of, I hate to say, flake out on this thing, are we looking, is this one we might be looking to set is a final already set, or are we looking to set a quicker final in something like this?
I'm gonna set our next hearing date as a final on
Okay.
July 23rd.
Okay, that's what I was gonna suggest if this is kind of our situation.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and set it as a final for that date.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Riley, anything else to report?
No, Judge, I think that I think my understanding is that we'll get this executed and get it back to the agency.
Okay. All right, Ms. McDaniel.
Your Honor, the most recent time that I spoke with the girls, they are doing great. They both seem to be enjoying where they're at. It seems like a good fit for both of them. Honestly, the first time that I spoke with Ivory, she really didn't talk to me at all. The most recent time, she was talking up a storm and telling me all about her field trip. They're both very well-mannered and sweet, sweet girls. And I think they're flourishing in placement. So I think if this adoption or PMC is going to go through, I think I would be in agreement with that for sure.
And Your Honor, I just got a text from my office because as we were doing this, I was checking on the status. Could St. Francis, could they send another affidavit to us? For some reason, my office staff doesn't seem to know where the one they sent is.
Okay.
I'll have that resent right away.
Thank you, Mr. Groff.
You're very welcome.
It's somewhere in those hundreds of emails that you all get every day.
Yeah.
Actually, I have actually, my other assistant just texted and said, we have received the affidavit of relinquishment. So I got hands, not knowing, I got hands and I'm stuck in the middle. So, okay.
March 27th to narrow it down in your list.
Yeah, they say in a pirate ship, belay that order.
Okay. All right, in Casa.
I think they're just in a great home. Grandma's amazing. The girls have been very different, no progress. Me and Yolanda work very good with Maria, with Grandma, and keep them there. That'd be amazing.
Okay. All right, then it sounds like we all have a plan. So today I will find that it would be a continuing danger to return the children home to either parent, and that I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue the children's current placement. We are going to schedule our final for July 23rd of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. We will order you all to mediation, let's say before July 1st. But my hope is that, if you all secure these, if you'll just let Miss Katie know, we may be able to get this in, long before that July 23rd date. So if that's feasible, then let's get it done if we get the relinquishments. So we don't have to wait that long. All right, then. If all else fails, then I'll see you all back on the 23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you,
Thank
counsel.
you, Judge.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Judge.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
This is all I have, Your Honor. So with your permission, I'll sign off now.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
All right, then I will call cause number 99689E in the interest of Messiah King. We are here today for our status hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and Ms. Galvan's making our record this morning. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements. Ms. King, if you have video, if you could turn it on, that'd be great.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Ms. Charlene is my permanency specialist. I believe Aaron Tyndall is backup. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Natalie, you're muted.
So sorry.
It's all right.
Natalie Archer for the mother to Keisha King, and we're present and ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Messiah.
All right, thank you. Okay, what do we have new?
Ms. Charlene, if you'll give us an update.
Messiah is doing great at his placement still. He is the only thing that's new as of right now is he's been very clingy to grandmother. And he's been peeing himself. That's the only thing that's new so far.
How is mom doing?
Mom's doing good. She is setting up her services. She had already set up an appointment with OSAR, and she's still working on setting up her other services.
Okay. And she signed the family plan of service,
Yes, sir.
and those were filed in March 12th of 2025.
Yes, sir.
Any other services? Is that the only one she's working on right now, getting set up? Has she gotten any of the other ones set up?
She has not, but she has been calling them. She called OSAR and got that scheduled, which will be on the 4th at 2 p.m. She is still calling Padre for her appointments. They were having trouble reaching her, but they had a different number because she had changed her phone number. I had given them her new number, and they're still trying to reach her. I'm not sure if they have reached her yet, but I talked to them on Friday and they were still not able to reach her.
Okay. All right. Since mom's here, we'd let her know just to give them a call back, see if she can get in touch with them, get that scheduled.
I talked to her on Friday and told her to reach them and gave her their numbers in case she didn't have this.
Okay. And have you gotten the new number to mom's attorney, Ms. Archer? Does she have that new number?
Yes.
Okay. What about dad? Have you been able to locate him or gotten any more information on him?
No, I have not located anything from dad or any information at all.
Okay. Have you had that conversation with mom anymore, if she knows anything or has any contacts for him?
Yes, I have. She said that she has not been in contact with him for a while, and I'm not sure if we have the right name for dad.
Okay.
But that's the name that she had told us.
Okay. That's the name mom knows him by.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you need to let the court know about?
No.
Okay. Are you asking today for the family plans of service to be made in order of the court?
Yes, sir.
And for parents to work services?
Yes, sir.
Asking the court to continue the temporary managing conservatorship of the child?
Yes. Yes.
And you believe that's in the best interest?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Archer, anything to report today or any questions?
Sure. Charlene, is she meeting regularly with you then?
Yes, she is.
And is she getting visits with the child?
Yes, every Friday at noon.
And how are those going?
They're doing great. She has been really good with interacting with Messiah and talking to him and providing what he needs at every visit.
And I think we do have the same phone number, but often when I call it, it rings like a fast busy. Does that ever happen to you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I just talked to her not that long ago to just double check if she's gonna be on here, and she was setting her Zoom up.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, would it be too big a problem for somebody to put that in the chat feature, just to make sure Ms. Archer's got a correct number?
I'll send it.
And
Okay,
it's
that'd be
weird.
great. Thank you.
It worked in the beginning of the case, and then the last week I've tried a couple of times and haven't been able to get it to work. So I'm not sure what's going on, but Decacia, you can call me anytime, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala?
I have no questions for the witness, just a report.
Sure.
I got to see Messiah the other day. He looks great. He is incredibly smart and verbal for a 3-year-old. He is placed with both a family member, but who is also a licensed foster care provider, and gets to see grandma at daycare. He appears to be doing really great, and I recommend that placement continue at this point.
Okay. I misunderstood. I thought he was placed with grandmother.
No, he's actually placed with his great aunt. Grandma works at the daycare, and they see each other regularly. And if I understand correctly, I believe maybe grandma has been approved for some respite care, but I haven't gotten confirmation on that. So I don't know if that's the case or not.
Yeah, it is approved through the agency. Arrow is the agency, and it's approved through them.
And I absolutely have no objections to that.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Not for me at this time.
All right, Ms. Archer, that phone number's in the chat, so just make sure you compare it. All right, then, today I will find there's a continuing danger to return the child home. I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the child's current placement. Ms. King, I'm going to order these services as an order of the court today. So what that means is I do expect you to work your services, and failure to work your services could result in Messiah not coming home. Worst case, it could mean termination of your parental rights. So I need to make sure that you understand that and understand how important it is that you work through your service plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you understand those things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Stay in close contact with your permanency specialist, with Miss okay, I'm gonna try Himena. That's not quite right. I didn't get it quite right. But anyway, stay in touch with her. Stay in close touch with Ms. Archer too, your attorney. All right,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
I'll see you back for our initial permanency hearing, and that'll be on July 29th of 2025. And that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. So 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll be sometime that morning. They'll let you know exactly what time.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes,
All right. Good luck with your services.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
All right, then. Cause number 99357D. In the interest of Himena Enriquez, we are here on our initial permanency hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under finding good cause and agreement of parties. We're live streaming. Ms. Galvan is making our record this morning. All right, we'll take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Shay Grant is my permanency specialist. We're present ready.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of respondent mother Alize Fuentes. My client is present and we're ready.
Jeff Hill on behalf of Mr. Enriquez. He's present. We're ready.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of Himena.
All right, thank y'all. Okay, let's see. Ms. Grant, I think you're gonna give us an update.
Yes, ma'am. So Jimena's doing great in her placement. She's in a relative placement here in Amarillo. Um, the parents have completed their services. They just lacked, since the court report, their last parenting class, and so that is complete. Right now, we have increased their visitation. They're currently getting 3 hours on Tuesdays. We've increased them to 6 hours on Saturdays. Their Tuesday visits are supervised by St. Francis. Their weekend visits will be supervised by paternal grandparents. And they did have their first one this past Saturday. It was reported by placement and parents that it went really well. Our only concern right now with having a solid reunification plan, we want to see the parents really apply the parenting skills that they've learned and demonstrate those a little further in their increased visitation. But other than that, everything is going really well.
Ms. Grant, on that, do y'all have are y'all in the process of getting a reunification plan drafted?
Not exactly. We want to just continue these increased visits just to ensure that they are able to, take care of the baby, that they have everything that they need. It's just our concern that she was physically injured and, she's about to be 7 months. She can't let us know if something's wrong. And so it's still our primary goal, and that is what we are working toward.
Okay. Do you have I guess, kind of a timeline of what you're looking for, of how long you want to see that? Or does it just depend on how quickly that goes about?
Yeah, so I would be hopeful for summer, early June, to, for the rest of April, continue with the weekend visits, the 6 hours, and then increase to their unsupervised, where they would start 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, like that, and then be able to send her home.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. No further questions. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
What relative is a child placed with?
Paternal aunt and uncle.
Okay. All right, and obviously parents and those relatives are getting along. They get along fine and.
Not with the placement. That's why we have paternal grandparents supervising the weekend visits.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Gotcha. Okay. Ms. Sapien?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Grant, was Ms. Fuentes suspected of at any time of causing physical injury to the child?
No.
Okay. And she has diligently worked her service plan, correct?
Yes, she has.
Okay. And has she missed any visits?
Just one.
Okay. She's been consistently involved, right?
Yes.
And she does want the baby back home?
Yes, she does.
And dad has also been compliant as completed?
Yes.
What exact parenting skills are you wanting to see applied?
So just mostly during their visitation, when baby's crying, they're not quite sure what to do, how to handle her. And so we just want to make sure that they have a better understanding of when she comes home. We're not asking them to do any other classes. We just want to make sure that they can apply those skills when baby does go home.
Okay. And when the baby's crying, are these times that you're observing, or is this just?
You cut out, I'm sorry.
My question was, these interactions, are you observing these, or is this just being reported to you by grandma?
Not by grandma. I've supervised several of the visits myself, and the FSW, the monitor that does the weekly visits.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Hill?
Ms. Grant, I was contacted several times in the last, maybe month or so, not several, 2 or 3 maybe, by Mr. Enriquez about some issues he was having with visitation. And I referred him to you to speak to you. Did you speak to him and did you get those issues ironed out?
Yes, sir, I believe we did.
Okay. And if I understood you correctly, you say early June is when you're looking at reunification?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of reunification would that be? As in, here's your child back, or some kind of a step up, or monitored return, or what are we looking at?
Yeah, so we would begin the step up in May, where they're starting those unsupervised visits gradually increasing, so that she'd be home in June.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
I have no questions, Ms. Grant.
All right. Anybody have anything they need to add? Ms. Sapien, Mr. Hill?
No, ma'am.
No.
All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation about all this today?
Yes, Your Honor. I think we are headed in the right direction with parents. I think they're doing well. I do agree it's time to start stepping up, and that's going to be happening. But I also agree that it's important that parents know how to soothe their baby. We're talking about a baby who had multiple injuries, and we need to make sure that that never happens again. I'm on board with the plan to be increasing visits and looking at June as a target date. I feel like that's realistic in this case.
All right. So if we began some sort of step-up visitation or step-up reunification plan right around the 1st of June, would St. Francis basically have that plan prepared and ready sometime then in May?
Yes, we can do that.
All right. We don't have any hearings scheduled between now and then, so if I just want the mother and father and their attorneys to have adequate time, to look through all that. If there's any concerns or disagreements about it, that they would have an opportunity to request a hearing. So I agree that I think it's a reasonable time frame given the circumstances. And, I hope kind of between now and then, if time permits and grandparents can accommodate it, that, we continue to increase the amount of time that they have with the child. Because obviously that translates into us seeing, a better picture about how they're handling things and how they're handling the baby, the more time they've got. So, if it's possible to get more time in during the week, then I'm in favor of doing that. And then eventually, we would be, I think it would be, if we've been doing lots and lots of supervised contact, then by June 1st, I would think we'd be ready to jump into the unsupervised pretty quickly. So. All right, then, anybody have anything else?
Nothing further.
No, ma'am.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then today I'm going to find that there would be a continuing danger to return the child home at this time, but that parents are very much in compliance. I congratulate them on how quickly that they have worked through these things. And, I appreciate your all's hard work. I really do. And your dedication to getting the child home. So just understand that under our circumstances with the serious nature of the injuries to the child when we got involved, you know, we just want to be sure that everybody's ready, you know, for this to happen and that it's safe and we want it to be successful. Okay. So y'all just keep doing what you've been doing. And we'll keep increasing those times. You know, I hope that we can work that out and keep increasing the time that you have with the baby. All right, then, I will see everybody back July 29th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Unless we have something that develops before that, then you all just let us know and we'll get a hearing fit in somewhere. Okay, very best of luck to y'all over the next few months. We got lots coming your way, so just keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Thanks,
y'all.
Judge.
Are you expecting your client?
I do not know. I have not spoken to him, Judge. I know things are going very well. We tried to reach out to him this morning to see if he would be here. Like I said, I know things are, sorry, I'm trying to turn on my camera. I know things are going well for him, and so I'm not sure why he's not here this morning.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll watch for him.
Okay. And Angela, I don't know, did you speak to him? Do you know? I know he has work, so that may be why he's not here.
Yes, I sent him the link and then he texted me and said something was going on with his phone. So then I sent the link to his mother's phone. So
Okay. I'll keep an eye out. All right, then at this time, I will call cause numbers 99352E in the interest of Lucas Dalyon and cause number 99353D in the interest of Abel and Gabriella No. We are here today in each case for our initial permanency hearings. We are conducting these through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan is making our record in both cases. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trow for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Angela Tidwell is my permanency specialist. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Vince Nowak on behalf of Twee. I am present and as ready as I possibly could be given the circumstances. Thank you, Judge.
Tracy Riley appearing for Mr. DeLeon, the father in this case, and I'm ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of Gabriella, Abel, and Lucas.
All right, thank you. All right, then we need to get an update. Ms. Tidwell?
yes, ma'am. So on the children, Gabriella and Abel, they're doing amazing in placement. They are thriving academically. They have both received the Mustang of the Month award. They are also developmentally on target, and Gabriella loves to participate in her art club at school. Lucas, he was placed with his paternal grandmother, Rose, and he too is doing well. He's developmentally on target, current on all medical, and bonded to his paternal grandmother. As far as the parents, unfortunately, I've not had contact with Twee. She actually has reached out to me 3 times since our status hearing on, I believe it was December the 5th. I've not been able to get her to work any services or even meet with me face to face. As far as dad, it's my understanding, dad of Gabriella and Abel, he's been deported to Mexico, and I've reached out to the Mexican consulate with no luck of locating him either. Now Lupe, that's a whole different story. He's doing amazing. He has, since the court report was filed, he's actually completed his family therapy, and he has an OSAR scheduled. That's the last thing that I've asked of him on his family therapy, on his family plan of service to complete, and he does have that OSAR scheduled.
Angela, when did mom last reach out to you? You said she'd reached out 3 times. When was the last time?
Yes, sir. I have that documented it was on March 4th. I received a text and a phone call from her.
Were you able to talk to her when you received the phone call?
Yes, sir. I was able to talk to her.
Did mom say where she was?
No,
Did she state whether she's still in the Amarillo area or has she moved off
No.
somewhere? Okay. Did you try to discuss whether you said she didn't say she was willing to work services? Did y'all discuss that and she say she wasn't going to work services, or what? How did that conversation go?
so she told me that her kids were wrongfully moved and I'm messing with the wrong person and that I need to bring her kids home to her.
Okay. But she didn't tell you where she was?
No, sir.
Did you ask if she could come up to the office and meet with you?
And meet with her and go to her location, and she would not disclose where she was.
Did you tell her it's important to reach out to her attorney, Mr. Nowak?
Yes, and I have given her his phone number. I believe the last time I gave her his number was on January the 28th.
Okay. So as far as you know, she still has Mr. Nowak's number?
Yes, sir.
As far as the cases go, due to on Gabby and Abel's case, you're asking for placement in TMC to continue, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Due to the lack of participation by mom, are you asking for an early final be set in this case at this time?
Yes.
Okay. And in Lucas's case, where we're still asking for TMC and placement to continue, you said dad has one more service to complete. What is the goal going forward at that point?
At that point, the goal is reunification with Guadalupe Dalyon.
Okay. Have you started working with trying to figure out reunification plan and how that will go?
Yes.
Okay. Once he completes the OSAR, is that what you're looking at? Have you stepped up visitations at this point?
Yes.
Okay. What are the visitations looking like right now?
Mr. Dalyon, he is getting 6 hours of supervised in-person visits with Lucas.
Okay. When are we looking at going to unsupervised with him?
And that has not been discussed yet.
Okay. All right. Are we waiting to see what the OSAR says?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I may have missed it. Did you say he had a date for that set already?
April 7th.
Okay. All right. But he has been more than cooperative with you throughout this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. Removal was filed in October on this case. Do you have any kind of time frame of what you're looking at for reunification schedule?
Say, as long as he completes all of his services, we can move forward with a monitored return.
Okay. All right. But we need to step up to the unsupervised visits before we get there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And is supervised visits, who's doing the supervision on those?
So, placement, which is his mother.
Okay. All right. And everything's going great with those?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Nowak?
No question, Judge. I'd just like to thank Ms. Tidwell for working hard with me on this case and all the ones we're together on. Thank you so much for that. And I did schedule a phone call in Caldwell. Judge, I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Riley?
I don't have any questions, Judge.
Okay, anything to add today, Ms. Riley?
I'm sorry, Judge?
Anything to add today?
No, absolutely not.
All right. Okay, Ms. Zavala?
Ms. Tidwell, the different placements, they have a good working relationship. Would you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the kids are bonded to each other and they're getting virtual visits right now. The hope, I believe, was to get them in person a few times. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the holdup on those in-person visits has been grandma's had some eye issues and is not really able to drive them. Is Is there any way that St. Francis could assist with an in-person visit for the kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Those are the only questions that I have, Your Honor, whenever you're ready for a report.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Zavala.
I could not be happier with the placement for Gabriella and Abel. I mean, they are just doing amazing. And although this is a foster placement, it's more like a fictive kin placement. They have been placement for these children before. They have kept up the relationship throughout the time when they didn't have them. The kids are doing amazing there. I scheduled my visit to go see Lucas at a time when I could watch Dad interact with him on the supervised visits. Went really well. Lucas looks great. Dad and Lucas interact very well together. I have no concerns at this time about placement with grandma, and I'm glad we're working towards reunification with Dad. I think he's been working hard to do what he needs to. So the only issue today is I would love to see those kids be able to get some in-person time together. But other than that, things are going really well.
Judge, I can't tell if you're speaking. You're muted if you were.
I'm sorry. Okay, in the no case, then I will find there's a continuing danger to return the children home to either parent at this time. And I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue their placement. We will set that case for a final on July 29th of 2025. And that'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. And then in the Dalyon case, I find there's a continuing danger to return the child home today, but that father, Mr. Dalyon, is in compliance. Mother is not. And that we will continue to work with Mr. Dalyon towards reunification. We will have our next hearing in that case, which will just be a permanency hearing. That will be scheduled for July 29th. 2025 on a 9 o'clock docket. All right, then I appreciate everybody. I'll see y'all back then on the 29th for each of those different hearings.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
All
Judge.
right. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Permission to leave the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
You have a great day.
Okay, then I will call cause number 98782-1 in the interest of Owen Collins. We're here today on a permanency hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan is making our record this morning. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Heidi Elliott is a permanency specialist. We're present, ready.
Claire Grammer for the Collins family.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Owen.
Ms. Hamker, are your clients present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They both should be on. You should be able to see both of them. I saw them both. We're logged in.
Okay, that's correct. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Here's Ryan and Stephanie. Hi,
Yeah,
guys.
I apologize. Okay. All right then. Who's going to give us an update? Ms. Elliott?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you can go ahead, that'd be great.
Okay. Owen was moved to a therapeutic foster home in Lubbock this last weekend. And I had called him yesterday. And he says within 30 minutes, he just loves being there. He's not around a bunch of other kids. He also stated he gets to go to church and he loves it. And he loves being in the home of people who believe in Jesus like me, is what he said.
Oh, cute. Sweet.
Yes. He's just having a good time there. Stephanie has finished her individual counseling. I filed her notification from Leanne this morning. I reached out to Richard Gallen for their family therapy update. He hasn't returned my call yet. The supervised visits will resume later this week once Owen gets all the way settled. So we're trying to work on getting those visits set back up. But
All right, so I assume we will be getting him in probably with a new counselor.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, you know, that obviously probably needs to take priority over just about anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he will have a change in school.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Will he be in public school, or what's the plan?
I haven't heard anything on that yet, possibly a public school. I plan on calling the foster mom today to follow up with that. She said she didn't put him in yesterday. She was going to try to do it today.
Okay. All right. Has he, I'm looking back to see if I have a note about it, but in the past, has he qualified for an ARD or?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So obviously I don't know whether the new school will just go based on what has been done previously until they can have one. I
Okay.
assume so, but all right. Okay, any other concerns or anything else we need to cover, Miss Elliott?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Grammer?
Thank you, Judge. Heidi, with regard to visitations, in the email thread that I saw, have you been able to get an answer on if is are going to need to contact foster mom directly for access, or what's going to be set up? What do we need to do on our end?
Like I had mentioned earlier, right after this hearing, I plan on reaching back out to foster mom to see if the parents can just call directly to her and get those set up. Or if I need to be in the, the middleman, I'm going to talk with her about it as soon as this is over.
Okay. And will you just shoot an email to that same thread that we have going, so that way everybody will be on the same page? Okay, thanks.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. Ms. Valet?
Ms. Elliott, I know that there have been some communications back and forth about a counselor for Owen. He was seeing one at Flyers, correct? And she helped us talk to him about moving and this new placement, and I think that was incredibly helpful to have her walk through that with him. Has there been any progress yet in determining a counselor for him where he is now?
No, ma'am. Plan on talking with the foster mom today. Get what can from her.
One thing I'd like to throw out there is it's possible, I believe, it may need a few hoops for Amanda, who was his previous placement. It's possible that she might be able to continue with him if she could meet with him in the foster home, is my understanding.
Okay.
There may be a little bit more in terms of documentation and some issues, but is St. Francis open to working with Amanda to see if there is any possible way to continue that counseling relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No further questions.
All right. Anybody have anything further we need to discuss?
Ryan, Stephanie, do y'all have anything? We didn't get a chance to chat before. Sorry, Judge. I jumped on kind of late.
It's fine.
I do have my final counseling session at 3 o'clock today. So
okay, cool.
I notified Heidi of that on Friday when we met.
Yeah, we have family therapy set up on Saturday in person with Owen.
Awesome. Thank you for updating.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we found, at least what initially looks like it's going to be a good fit, a good placement for him. And so hopefully that will continue. And I know that we had already discussed about the extension in the case. So we originally had a dismissal date, April 7th. Obviously, I'd indicated to everybody that I felt like there were extraordinary circumstances that warranted the extension in the case. So do we have a new dismissal date, Mr. Trout?
October 3rd.
Okay. All right. So I'll certainly sign the order extending the case. And I will find that there would be a continuing danger to return the child home at this time. Certainly more due to the child's behaviors and issues. We'll continue to work with the family on all of that. And I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue Owen's current placement. And I'll see everybody back for a permanency hearing on July 29th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. And then also we will set our final hearing in the case for September 23rd of 2025. That also will be a 9 o'clock docket. So I know that seems like a long way away, but that way everybody's got it on their schedule. Okay. Thank you all very much for the update on Ms. Elliott. See what all we can find out through placement and how we can work together. And hopefully this will go really well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I will call cause number 99794E in the interest of Chloe Viela. We're here set a reset of our adversary hearing, and we are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan is making our record today. Okay, then, Mr. Trout, how many witnesses you have today?
Just one, Your Honor.
All right, then. You can call your first witness.
Call Joseph Valdez.
All right, Mr. Valdez. You solemnly swear that the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Valdez, would you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, sir. Joseph Valdez.
And Mr. Valdez, how are you employed?
I'm an investigator with the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And are you familiar with the case involving the child, Chloe Valet?
I am, yes, sir.
And how are you familiar with that case?
I was the investigator assigned to the case.
And how did the department become involved in the case with this child?
The department received an intake after mother gave birth to Chloe due to being positive for methamphetamines at birth and also concerns of mother being homeless.
When you received the case, what was your first steps? What did you do?
I do history checks and then staff with supervisor.
Did mom or parents have prior history with the department?
They did, yes.
Okay. And when was their last case or involvement with the department?
I believe it was in 2019.
Were you able, what is mother's name?
Angel Parks.
Okay. And were you able to meet with Ms. Parks?
I was, yes, sir.
And where were you able to meet with her?
At Baptist St. Anthony's Hospital.
And did you have a discussion with mom about your reason for being there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you, how did your conversation with mom go? What did she state?
She stated that she had used, she stated about 2 to 3 weeks before giving birth. She stated that she only had, that she received prenatal care, only went to 2 appointments due to some issues with her Medicaid, not being active or waiting to get active.
Okay. Did you discuss any of the prior history with mom?
I did, yes, sir. Trying to find out where some other children were at.
Okay. And what did mom state as far as who had custody of her 5-year-old?
Her sister-in-law.
Okay. And did mom state why that child is with the sister-in-law?
She stated that she was positive for meth as well when she gave birth to him.
Okay. Did she state it was for the same thing as this case?
Yes.
as far, what was the mom state about her living situation?
She stated that she resides at the Silver Spur Motel. That she was trying to get into, I can't recall the other motel that's right there, is what she stated of her living situation.
Did she state if she lives with anybody?
She stated that she did not.
Did you discuss with mom who was the possible father of the child?
I did ask her who the father was or if she had any idea, and she told me a Roberto Viela.
Okay. And did she state where he was?
She stated she didn't have any locating information for him.
Okay. At the time that you spoke to her, had he been to the hospital?
No.
Had she been expecting him to come to the hospital?
She stated that she was expecting him, but that he hadn't shown up.
Okay. Did you discuss mom's use, how long she has been using, so forth?
I did, yes.
Okay. And what did mom say about how long she had been using?
She stated she had been using for a while, and that her drug of choice was meth.
Hey, did y'all discuss had she ever been to any sort of treatment?
She expressed interest in inpatient Centocor, and she stated that she had never been to treatment or sought any help before, but that she was needing help this time.
How was the baby doing?
The baby was doing good. When I arrived, initially, there was a nurse in the room feeding the baby. After I spoke with mom, I spoke with that nurse, and she just stated that mom appeared to be tired. She said it could be from mom just giving birth. It could be from mom coming off drugs. There was no specific answer to why mom was tired. So that's why the nurse was in the room with mom at that time.
Okay. Before the removal, was the baby having any signs of withdrawals at the time?
No.
And you were still waiting on they send off meconium and cord blood, or just meconium?
Just the cord, and I filed that yesterday.
Okay. And what was that?
It's positive for methamphetamine and I believe marijuana.
Due to mom's admittance to use in the positive drug screens, do you feel it was best interest of the child to ask for removal?
I do, yes.
And that removal was granted?
Yes.
And the baby, where was the baby initially placed?
Baby was initially placed with some relatives as a emergency placement until we could work on getting the baby moved to a permanent placement.
And the baby's been moved there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is this also family?
It is family, yes.
Okay. In
paternal
what way?
aunt and uncle.
And do they have another one of mom's children?
They do, yes.
Okay. And did you have a conversation with mom? Is this where she wanted the baby placed?
Both mom and dad wanted the baby placed in this placement.
Okay. And baby's doing well so far?
Yes.
Okay. Have we had any issues?
No, and I just spoke with placement earlier this morning, and she stated everything's been going very good.
Have you been able to find mom and dad lately?
I have not.
When was your last contact with them?
When I got the attorney paperwork signed.
Okay. Have you been able to have a conversation with them about who their attorneys are?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I was able to send, since dad has a cell phone, I was able to send his attorney's information. I sent the first link to him, never heard back from him. And I sent this link to him yesterday and haven't heard back from him.
Okay. And as far as you know, that phone number for dad is still good?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Okay. Prior to that, how were you able to meet with them in person?
Mom, I think I just got lucky. I just happened to drive to the Silver Spur and she was outside. Dad, I had help from his sister who is placement. She found him walking along the boulevard and told him that I was looking for him. And she provided him my contact information.
Has placement, you said you spoke to placement this morning, correct?
Yes.
Have they stated whether they've had any contact with parents?
The aunt stated that they haven't had any contact, but that dad did go drop off a box of diapers and left them on the porch.
Do you know when that was?
I don't know when that was.
But the child's been placed there for a couple of weeks?
Yes.
Okay, so probably within the last 2 weeks that is
correct.
Okay. Are you asking today that the court grant the temporary managing conservatorship to the department and for parents to continue to, or parents to cooperate in work services?
I am, yes.
And you believe that continuing placement and the temporary managing conservatorships in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Gomez?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Sapien?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Valdez, at any time did Mr. Viela indicate that he wanted the baby in his care?
No, he did not. He indicated that he wanted it with his sister where the baby's placed right now.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Trout, anything further of this witness?
Nothing further of this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody have any other questions for Mr. Valdez? Okay, very good. All right, Mr. Trout, anything further, or does the department rest?
Nothing further, department rest, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Gomez, any witnesses to present?
No witnesses. We rest, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sapien?
No witnesses. I'll rest.
And Ms. Zavala?
No witnesses, I rest.
All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation to the court?
Yes, Your Honor. I do believe it's in Chloe's best interest to remain in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. She is placed with family. I have no concerns about that placement, and am very happy to see her there. And I know it's very early in the process, but I do want it on everybody's radar screen that placement would love to have birth certificate and social security card when that becomes available. I know with littles, that may not be the first priority. However, they've got the older sibling and we're never able to get that documentation for him. So we just want to make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks for this child.
All right.
Your Honor, I would also ask, since we're having trouble getting in touch with parents and visitations and possible drug use by mom's admittance, if we could get an order for no in-person visits till we get them to drug screen and get a clean UA.
I agree with that request.
That holds true to both parents.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. All right, then I do find the evidence is sufficient to name the department as temporary managing conservator of the child, Chloe Viela, and we will find, and I find a continuing danger to return the child home to either parent at this time. I will expect the department to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family, but I am going to order that there be no in-person visits with the baby by either parent until we have a negative UA on the parents. Certainly when contact can be made with them, I would like to order that they go drug screen, hair and UA. I'm not going to set a deadline on that since I don't know how and when we will get in touch with them, but as soon as that case transfers over to St. Francis, if contact is made, go ahead and let's get them sent for drug screens. Okay, I'll see everybody back for our status hearing, May 6th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. All right, I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge.
Thank you. Your Honor, may be excused.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll call cause numbers 87920E in the interest of Ezra Martinez, and cause number 97405E in the interest of Ella Lopez. We're here today in each case for our final. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Galvan's making our record. Okay. We'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services were present, ready, Your Honor.
Bailey Bailey Sapien on behalf of Mom Adriana Medina. My client is present and we're ready to proceed.
Lorraine Lucero on behalf of the father, Nicholas Martinez, Your Honor. He's currently incarcerated at the Potter County Jail. I thought we had a possible agreement in place. Found out yesterday evening that there was additional issues, I guess, that needed to be addressed. And so I sent them the link to have him appear, but he's not here and I cannot announce ready since there have been changes.
Your Honor, I'm Tate Eldridge. I represent one of the other fathers, Richard Lopez. I'm present and ready. He's apparently not signed on, but we're ready. I'm ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Ella and Ezra.
Okay, well, let me just ask this, since Ms. Lucero's kind of between a rock and a hard place here. If he thought that everything had resolved, I understand he was given the link, he hadn't logged in, but he may have thought everything was resolved. Is that what you're telling me, Ms. Lucero?
Your Honor, no, we thought everything was resolved, so I hadn't sent him the link. Then when I found out late yesterday afternoon that not everything was resolved, that's when I sent the link. But I don't feel comfortable agreeing if he's not here to agree to the changes, so.
Okay, so let me just ask, can we proceed on the Lopez case and just do a quick reset on the Martinez case? I mean, our dismissal date's not until June.
I believe so, yeah.
That's fine with me, Judge.
And Judge, I think, and my understanding, I believe we have an agreement with Mr. Eldridge as to what we're asking for on his client.
Yeah, I just, I think Ms. Lucero's kind of in a difficult spot there. So let's just Miss Katie, if you can look at a date. Ms. Lucero, you think you can get with him sometime in the next week even?
Yes, Your Honor. Honestly, the quicker the better. He's waiting to be transferred out to TDCJ. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So if we can do it in the next week, that'd be fine with me. If we could do late afternoon, because I think most of my mornings are booked, but I don't know if y'all have any time.
Just have to see, because I'm out Monday and Tuesday. So we'll have to see what we can do.
Okay.
Let me see what she comes up with.
And Your Honor, if by chance take this to him and he were to agree, could the court accept a signed order?
I certainly would.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
With no problem at all. Okay. She's saying April 10th. If she make sure we've got a report, or if we have to have the hearing, if we can do an agreed order, great, but
That would work for me, Your Honor.
I'm good with that date, John.
That's fine for me.
and obviously, Mr. Eldridge, you won't need to return for that.
That's fine for me then.
So, okay, I think that's the best thing to do under the circumstances. So, anybody that's so Ms. Lucero, we'll just reset it to that day, 4/10
Okay, I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you.
at 1:30, and then just y'all can let the court know, or let Miss Katie know if we've got an agreed order coming, or if we need the hearing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, sounds great. All right, Ms. Lucero, you're certainly free to go.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right, and then on the Lopez case, all right, I'm sorry, I've gotten myself lost. Did we take announcements on it?
Yes.
Okay, all right, took it on both, great. All right then, are we just announcing an agreement, or are we calling witnesses? What are we doing?
I believe we're just announcing an agreement at this point, Your Honor.
Okay,
You want me to go ahead?
yeah. that'd be
Okay.
great.
Your Honor, children are placed back with mom. There are prior orders in this case, with joint, I believe they're joint managing with mom being primary. Dad paying child support, medical support, visitations. The only modification that we have agreed to in this, everything would stay the same except, dad my understanding, living girlfriend, has CPS history. So our only request is that dad's standard visitation stayed, but his living girlfriend, Daisy Flores, is not to be left unsupervised. Dad has to supervise anytime the child's around her. That's the only modification we would ask for, is the supervision around her, just due to the history.
And that's my understanding, Your Honor. The last time I talked to my client about it, he was moving her out, but I guess it never happened. And so he didn't have any problem with that in the past. So, so I don't have any problem with it today.
Okay. So everything else is going to revert back to the prior order with that one modification, that he would be the supervising party of the child when the child is in his possession.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
It's only Daisy Flores.
It's only two. That's the thing. It's only two.
Okay.
Miss Flores. I don't want to do a blanket because I don't want to take out any family members or anybody.
that was my next question. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
All right. So he'll be
And I
the
guess we should say
supervising
that.
party of the child between the child and his girlfriend,
Yes,
Daisy
ma'am.
Flores, when the child is in his possession.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right then, Miss Sapien, is this you and your client's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Eldridge, you're good with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala.
I do believe this would be in the best interest.
Okay. Any further recommendation, Ms. Zavala, or are you good with everything?
No, Your Honor, I am good with this agreement.
Okay. All right, then, at this time, then I will approve that agreement. We'll dismiss the Department of Family and Protective Services and all court-appointed attorneys from the case. And the parents will resume under the prior order of the court with respect to conservatorship, possession, support, with one modification, that Mr. Lopez will supervise the contact between the child and his girlfriend, Daisy Flores, when the child is in his possession. All right, then. I appreciate everybody resolving this. Ms. Medina, thank you so much for your hard work. in
you.
in all your cases. I may not see you again if we get a signed order in this other one. So I've already signed the dismissal on the other case this morning, and so congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Great work and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, then y'all just then let me know on the other one.
To be clear, Your Honor, and so Adriana knows, I do have to still continue to come out to see Ezra until the order is comes back. So I will still be coming out.
They were saying, yeah, she said she's not coming no more, Mom. And I was like, okay. She said, give me a hug. This will be the last time I see you.
Well, hopefully we'll get everything done and signed up, and you all may not even have to return, but we've got it. We've got it there in case we need to.
Okay. He'll agree to it. Nikki agrees to anything as long as he gets to see him still. So
All right.
Thank you guys.
All right. Thank you all so much.
All right. You may be excused, Judge.
Yes. Thank you all very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tate.
In the interest of Leonardo Martinez Jr., we're here today set on our final in this case. The case has been extended and our dismissal date is April 11th of this year. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. It's enabling the mother, Danielle Jones, to join us from TDC, and Ms. Galvan is making our record today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Danielle Jones, Natalie Archer representing Danielle Jones, the mother in this case, and we're present and ready.
Henry Naranjo on behalf of the father, Leonardo Martinez. I am present. Mr. Martinez is not present, but I'm ready to proceed.
JC Zavala on behalf of the child.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Trout, then, who's your first witness today?
Haley Jorrant, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Jorrant, you'll raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Before we begin, I just want to clarify for Ms. Jones what we're doing. So, Ms. Jones, I understand that you are asking for some additional time so that you can execute a voluntary relinquishment of parental rights. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because your case has to be heard and the dismissal date is April 11th, we're going to go ahead and proceed with this as if you were not going to execute that relinquishment, but I will hold my ruling in the case to give you the opportunity to do that and return it. If you do that timely, then I will accept that relinquishment and would only terminate on the grounds of that relinquishment and on no other grounds. But what you're going to hear today is they're going to go ahead and offer testimony and evidence that would support other grounds for termination that they've requested. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just because you hear all of everything that you're about to hear doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to rule on that basis. It just depends on whether or not I get your relinquishment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then. Mr. Trout, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Jorrant, would you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, Haley Jorrant, JOHRENDT.
And Ms. Jorrant, how are you employed?
I'm a supervisor for the Department of Family Protective Services.
Okay. And in this case, you were the supervisor for the investigations, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the original investigator is no longer with the department?
Yes, sir.
Does the department keep regular records in its cases?
Yes, we do.
And are those records kept in the ordinary course of business?
Yes, sir.
And are those entries in the records made at or around the time the event occurs?
Yes, sir.
Are they made, those entries made by a person with personal knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Do you have access to those records?
I do.
Are you a custodian of record for those records?
I am.
Have you had the opportunity to review the records in this case?
I have.
Are the removal affidavit and investigative reports, are they made a part of those records?
Yes, they are.
And are they filed with the court?
They are.
And have you had opportunity to review those records?
I have.
Ms. Jordan, how did the department become involved in the case involving the child Leonardo Martinez Jr.?
We had received a report on September 29th of 2023. The report stated that Miss Jones and her baby, Leonardo Martinez Jr., tested positive at delivery for amphetamine and opiates. It also stated that Miss Jones admitted to daily fentanyl use.
Okay. And per the records that you reviewed, did your investigator, was she able to meet with mom?
She was.
And what was mom's name?
Danielle Jones.
Okay. And where were they able to meet?
She met with her at the hospital.
Okay. And did they have a conversation with mom about why they were involved? Or
Yes.
why the department was involved? I'm sorry.
Yes, she did.
Okay. And what was Miss Jones' comments to that?
To the conversation that they had together?
Yes, ma'am. To the reason for the involvement.
Okay. Miss Jones was made aware of the reason that the department was involved, and she stated that she had admitted to the investigator that she had been using fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine daily. She had admitted to using prior to delivery on September 27th of 2023.
Did she state that she's tried to stop before?
She did say she had tried to stop, but that the fentanyl had become so addictive that she was struggling.
Who did mom state the father of the child was?
Leonardo Martinez Sr.
Okay. And was the investigator able to meet with Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Okay. Did Mr. Martinez admit to any drug use during the conversations?
Mr. Martinez had only admitted to marijuana use.
Did he admit to any other drug use prior to the baby being born?
He didn't.
Did the parents drug screen for the department?
They did.
Were those results concerning?
Yes.
What were the steps that the department took to try to prevent the removal at this time?
We had we tried a parental safety placement, but due to the extensive drug use and mom's admitted use, 90-day time frame for that is not, it wasn't enough time for her to actually get clean and sober. There was a maternal aunt and uncle that were willing to be placement. However, they were not willing to take her into the home for other safety reasons due to the fentanyl use.
And when you say take her into the home, you mean mom?
Mom, I'm sorry, for a supervising party. There was also a maternal grandfather, but his work schedule didn't allow for supervision either.
And due to the concerns of drug use and instability for the parents, do you believe it was in the best interest of the child to ask for a removal?
Yes, sir.
How was the child doing at removal?
As of today?
No, at the time of removal.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
He was going through some withdrawals while in the hospital. That was pretty much all that we knew during the investigation.
And due to what you just testified to, you believe it was in the best interest of the child to request the removal at that time?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Archer?
I have no questions right now.
Okay, Ms. Naranjo?
Ms. Jordan, did, when the department met with Mr. Martinez, did he seem cooperative with cooperating with the department and working services?
He was cooperative, yes. I mean, he answered questions when he was asked and things like that.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Zavala.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Trout, anything further of this witness?
Nothing further of this witness, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, is Ms. Jordan free to go on about her day's activities?
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
All right, thank you, Ms. Jordan. You're free to go at this time. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haley.
Okay, you call your next witness.
Call Nurti Angrani, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Angrani, if you will, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may proceed.
Ms. Angrani, would you state your name for the record, please?
Nurti Andraini, last name Anggraini.
And Ms. Angrani, how are you employed?
I'm the permanency specialist with St. Francis Ministries.
Okay. And are you familiar with the case involving the child Leonardo Martinez Jr.?
Yes, sir.
And how are you familiar with that case?
I got the first case since the beginning of the case when the child was removed from CPS.
Okay, so you've been the permanency specialist since the beginning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you first receive a case, do you create what they call family plans of service?
Yes, sir. Correct.
And can you tell me what a family plan of service is?
Family plan is designed to help the parents mitigate the risk.
Mitigate the risk?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And was that done in this case?
For Leonardo Martinez, yes.
Yes. And do you go over the family plans with the parents?
Yes, sir. Correct.
And if they're willing to, do they sign the family plans?
Yes, sir.
And are those filed with the court?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are those made in order of the court?
Yes.
And was that done in this case?
Yes.
Do you have the exhibits I sent out?
Yes, sir. I have it.
Do you have them pulled up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me what exhibits number 1 and number 2 are?
Number 1 is amended family plan.
Okay. And who is that for?
1 second. This is for, the first one is for Daniel Jones that was signed on November 17, 2023.
Okay. And when you say signed, is that by mom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is this the accurate copy of the service plans that you filed with the court?
Yes, sir. Correct.
And were those filed on December 4th of 2023?
Yes.
Exhibit number 2, can you tell me what that is?
This is family plan of service for Miss Daniel Jones.
Exhibit number 2?
Yes, sir.
Is it for, and that is for who?
For Daniel Jones and Leonardo Martinez.
Okay. So this is exhibit number 2 is the family plan for Leonardo Martinez?
Yes.
Okay. And did Mr. Martinez sign this family plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is this the accurate copy that you filed with the court?
Yes, sir.
And was it filed on November 22nd of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And were these family plans made orders of the court?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibits number 1 and number 2. They're the family plans of service that Ms. Ingrani just testified to.
Any objection?
Objection.
All right, petitioners exhibits 1 and 2 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ingrani, can you tell me what do you recognize exhibit number 3?
This is the status hearing order and notice of the next hearing.
And at status hearing orders, is it generally that where the family plans of service are made orders of the court?
Yes, sir.
And you testified earlier that that was done in this case, correct?
Yes.
Was this family or status hearing order filed with the court on December 13th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
And was the family plans of service made in order of the court in this status hearing order?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit number 3 is the file marked copy of the status hearing order that was just testified to.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, petitioners exhibit 3 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ingrani, we'll start with mom right now. What were the services was mom asked to work?
Parenting class. She was trying to work service on individual counseling, parenting class, psychosocial, and rational behavior therapy class.
Okay. Did mom complete any services?
No.
Did she start any services?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What services did she start?
She started the drug education class when she was admitted to jail.
Okay. So she worked on those. Did you say she worked on those once she was in jail or before she
Yes,
went?
where she was in jail. She tried to work on it before, but then she got arrested and she was doing it in jail.
Okay. All right. Did she ever complete an OSAR?
No, sir.
Okay. Did she comply with your drug screens that you requested of her?
She went to drug screen with the department, with St. Francis, let me see, October. I'm sorry. No, sir, she did not. She went on October 3rd, 2024. I'm sorry. That's
okay.
Yeah.
And did she also screened for you in April of 24, April 3rd of 24? Is that the one?
April 3rd?
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Yes. April 3rd.
And she was negative on those, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But in October of 2023, May of 2024, June of 2024, July of 2024, August, September, and September of 2024, she no-showed, is that correct?
Yes, sir. She's no show.
Okay. And then you said that she also went in October of 2024. She did comply with the screen, correct?
Yes, sir.
And were those concerning to you?
Yes, sir. It's positive.
Okay. And then in November and December and January, November, December of 2024 and January of 2025, did mom no-show drug screens there?
Yes, no show.
Okay. And are no-show drug screens deemed presumed positives?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. Did mom ever participate in her psychosocial?
No, sir.
Did she ever schedule, complete, participate in rational behavior?
No, sir.
Did she maintain regular contact with you?
Yes, sir. When she could, she would call me.
Have you had conversations with mom lately?
Yes, sir.
And where is mom currently?
She's currently in Gatesville, Texas, the TDCJ.
Okay, so mom is currently incarcerated.
Yes, sir.
Has she told you what she's incarcerated for?
It's the same charge when she got first arrested. It was the burglary. No, I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. If you're not sure, that's fine. Just say you're not sure about it.
Yes, not sure.
Okay. And has mom had visits with the child?
One time. Yes, sir.
One time in the whole case?
Yes, that's during whenever she tested negative back in April.
Okay. As far as dad, what services was dad asked to do?
That has to do parenting class, psychosocial, individual counseling, rational behavior therapy, drug education, and individual counseling.
And for a while throughout this case, we were working with dad to try to get to reunification with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how did dad do in his service plans?
He actually completed all the service plan. He completed most of the except the recommendation from Senate Court that he has not.
Okay. And what is that recommendation?
To go to the 12-step program and NA or AA meeting.
Okay. And was that a recommendation for after he completed drug rehab?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when did he complete, he completed an inpatient drug rehab?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when was that?
It was in December.
And was that court ordered?
Yes.
Okay. And he was court ordered during a hearing to attend inpatient drug rehab by a certain date. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you look at exhibit number 4 for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And can you tell me what that is?
This is permanency hearing order before final order and notice of next hearings.
Okay. And was this a file marked copy of that hearing order?
Yes.
And was it filed in October 14th of 2024?
Yes, sir.
And were you also in attendance at that hearing?
Yes, sir.
And was this a hearing where dad was court ordered to enter rehab by a certain date?
Yes, sir.
Is this an accurate copy of that order?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit number 4 is the permanency hearing order before final that would just testify to.
Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
Okay, petitioner's exhibit 4 will be admitted. Ms. Zavala, you were muted, I didn't hear it, but I could see you sign no objection. It's all right.
No objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Angrani, on page 5 under 6.2, does that state that dad must enter rehab by November 1st?
Yes, sir.
And you just testified that dad did attend and complete that drug rehab. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
As part of dad's family plans of service, was it required of him to attend drug screens and to remain drug-free?
Yes, sir.
Since dad, you testified that we were working with dad to try to reunite, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you know where dad is living at this time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where is he living?
It's with his mother on 906 Huge.
Okay. When was the last time you had contact with dad?
In January.
Okay. What happened in February and March? Why have we not had any contact with
The last contact was in February was through the text message saying that he has a lot going on. That's what he told me in the text message.
Okay. Has dad attended any of his visitations with the child?
He did in January, but then in February he missed 3 times due to sickness, and then no explanation after that why he's missing visits.
You testified that under his plan, he was to remain drug-free in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And to random drug screen?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time dad drug screened for you?
In January. That was the last time.
Have you tried to send him in February and March?
Yes, sir.
And did dad miss those drug screens? Did he no-show those?
No show.
Did he ever give you any explanation of why?
No, sir.
Did he ever ask to reschedule it or to try to go screen for you?
No.
Okay. Are no-show drug screens, are they presumed positives?
Yes, sir.
So since dad has completed, let me back up a second. The child was, you heard testimony earlier that the child was removed due to, mostly due to drug use, correct?
Yes, correct.
And dad was court ordered to go into inpatient rehab.
Yes.
He completed that.
Yes.
And since that time, he has missed drug screens that are now deemed presumed positives, correct?
Yes, sir.
What was your last conversation? You said you'd received some text message, but what was your last conversation with dad?
That was in January. I asked him how because he's approaching the reunification with the child, and he said that he was nervous. He's scared and nervous.
And at this time, what steps have you gone through since January to try to get in touch with dad?
I visited the house where he stayed with the mom in January. I was able to visit him at his job at the restaurant. And I try to call and keep contact with the call and the text message, sending text messages.
When you met with his mother at her house, did you leave a card for him to call you or a message for him to get in touch with you?
Yes, in January, I actually has met Mr. Martinez and his mother. And so we had conversation, the 3 of us.
Okay. Since you have not had any more contact with him, have you been back to the mother's house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you left messages at that time for him to give you a call?
Yes.
Okay. Have you received any calls from him?
No, sir.
Okay. Your text messages, emails, phone calls, have any of those been returned?
No, sir.
Is it concerning to you that we were at the end of the case working toward reunification and now you've not had contact with dad for 2 months?
Yes, sir.
And he has quit drug screening for you?
Yes, sir.
There was, did we run a certificate of paternity registry search for on this child?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was there ever an intent made to claim paternity of the child, to your knowledge?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Can you see exhibit number 5?
Yes, sir.
And was this, can you tell me what this is?
Certificate of paternity registry search.
Okay. And was that filed with the court January 25th of 2024?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, had anybody intended to claim paternity of the child?
Not that I know of, sir.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit number 5, the certificate of paternity registry search that was just testified to.
Any objection?
Objection.
No objection.
All right, Petitioner's Exhibit 5 will be admitted. I'm just double checking my notes. We never did adjudicate him.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. And he did not request genetic testing.
Correct.
Okay. All right, very good. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ingrani, are you today asking the court to terminate the parental rights of the mother, Danielle Jones, as to the child, Leonardo Martinez Jr.?
Yes, sir.
And is that based upon the reason for the removal, the drug use, and the baby positive test at birth,
Yes, sir.
and failure to work services,
Yes, sir.
and constructive abandonment?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that that is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, sir.
And in the event, you heard mom state earlier that she intends to sign an affidavit of relinquishment.
Yes, sir.
In the event that is executed and filed, are you asking for the court to terminate the parental rights based upon that in the future?
Yes, sir.
What did you say, Mr. Trout, at the end of your sentence?
I can't remember, Judge. If she was asking the court if that was executed in the future.
Yes.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
what I'm missing is you said based on,
The affidavit of relinquishment if it's executed in the future.
okay. And I think she answered yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Angrani, if that affidavit of voluntary relinquishment is executed, department is willing to waive all other grounds and only ask for termination on the relinquishment. Is that correct?
Yes.
As to dad, are you asking the court today to adjudicate him as dad
Yes.
and to terminate the parental rights based upon the failure to complete services, as he is not shown to be remain drug-free at this time,
Yes.
and his failure to drug screen?
Yes.
And also based upon dad being court ordered to enter drug rehab, completed,
Yes.
but now completed that rehab, but now has presumed positive drug screens.
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that's in the best interest of the child?
Yes.
And where is the child placed now?
In kinship home.
Okay. And how is he doing?
He's doing well and thriving and really cute, running around.
Has he hit all of his stages? Is he on target?
Not on the weight. He's a little bit underweight. And yeah, but we're trying to work with the PCP.
Okay. But all of his other functions, he's on target and doing well.
He's on target, yes, sir.
Okay. Is placement willing to adopt if Leonardo becomes available to adopt?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you believe that would be in the best interest of the child?
Yes, sir.
Has this placement, are they licensed, or are they in the process of being licensed? Where do they stand on that?
At this time, they're not licensed, but they are going to, as soon as he hears about the status of a child.
Okay. So their plan is to get licensed. They just wanted to wait to see if dad was able to reunite.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But at this time, you're asking the court to terminate the parental rights of both parents.
Yes, sir.
And to name the department as permanent managing conservator.
Yes, sir.
And if becomes available, have the kinship adopt.
Yes.
And you do believe that's best interest of the child?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Angrani. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Archer?
Ms. Angrani, do you know mom's parole eligibility date?
I am not sure what date.
Do you know her projected release date?
I'm thinking.
If you don't, that's okay.
No, not this time. I'm sorry.
Do you know when it was that mom began communicating with you in this case?
She communicated when she was at Potter County Jail when she was arrested. I came visit her and she called me every once in a while.
And then did she become more consistent this year in contacting you?
Yes.
And did she add you to her call list at the prison?
Yes.
Did she indicate to you at all any intention with the child? Like, does she wish she could be with the child?
She wished to be the mother of the child. One time she told me, but she said that it's also she couldn't do nothing right now at this time because she's unable to be free. She's arrested and she has criminal charges. That's what she told me. She understand that.
Did she indicate if she's happy that the child is with family?
Yes, ma'am.
And you just mentioned in your testimony, is it correct that the department's plans is to keep the child where he is?
At this statement, yes.
Did mom ever write letters to you to keep in touch?
Not letters, no.
Okay. So it's mainly phone calls to you?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, and Ms. Naranjo?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Angrani, you testified that Mr. Martinez lives with his mother, is that correct?
Yes.
And was the plan for reunification to place the child with Mr. Martinez at his mother's residence?
Yes.
And his mother's residence was deemed safe and appropriate for a child to be placed there?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Martinez, he is employed, correct?
Yes.
And he had provided you with pay stubs of his employment?
One time, yes.
And he had also provided you with a valid copy of his valid driver's license as well as a valid car insurance.
Driver's license, yes.
And Mr. Martinez has completed his individual counseling.
Correct.
He has completed his rational behavior training.
Yes, ma'am.
He also completed his psychosocial and he completed his parenting class with Padre, correct?
Yes.
He also, as you testified to, completed ChildCustody short-term residential treatment program, correct?
ChildCustody, yes.
And really the only main issues now that the department has concerns over is that Mr. Martinez hasn't been in contact for the past 2 months. And since he hasn't been in contact for the past 2 months, he didn't go drug screen for those past 2 months.
Correct.
But before those 2 months, he was in contact and he was in substantial compliance with his service plan. Is that correct?
Off and on, ma'am.
My question to you is, before those 2 months, was he in contact with you and was he in substantial compliance with his service plan?
Yes.
Now, regarding the drug screens, before these 2 no-show drug screens, he was mainly cooperating and participating and going to his drug screens, correct?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Viela?
Ms. Angrani, you've been the caseworker for the entire case, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Has your contact information changed in any way?
My contact information? No, ma'am. It's
So
still the
you've got the same phone number, same email
phone
address, and same physical location.
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Martinez have all of that info?
Yes.
The when in February and March, when you were looking for him, did you went out to mom's house in February? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to talk to her?
Yes.
Were you able to let her know that you were trying to get a hold of him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go back out there in March?
Yes.
Did you talk to her again?
Again, yes.
I believe, was Mr. Martinez present at the last hearing?
Yes, ma'am. That's the last hearing. Yes, he was present.
So he was aware that today was going to be a final hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you talked to him in January, he was aware at that time.
Yes.
Have you been notified in any way of any new contact information for him?
Yes, ma'am. I have the old number and the new number. So I have two numbers of Mr. Martinez.
Did you text him on both numbers?
I texted him on the new number, but I called on two numbers. But the first number that he gave me wasn't really active right now.
Okay, so it's clear that it's not working.
Yes.
And the number that you had contacted him on before, that's one that you've been able to reach him on before.
Yes.
Did you forward a link for today's hearing?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Did you forward a link for today's
Yes.
hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you went out to speak with his mother, did you let her know about today's hearing?
Yes.
I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Trout, anything further?
Nothing further from this witness here.
All right. Anybody else have anything else for Ms. Angrani?
Just briefly, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Ron, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Angrani, regarding Mr. Martinez's visitation with the child, before he stopped having contact with you in February, was he attending his visits?
Yes.
And were visits going well?
Yes.
And was actually the department looking to increase his visitation with the child?
We already increased it to 3 hours. And then the second 3 hours, he did not show up.
I'll pass witness.
Okay, anybody else have any further questions for Ms. Angrani?
Real quick, Your Honor. Ms. Angrani, as far as the drug screens and the missed visits, and the full stop of communications, Mr. Martinez has not given you any reason why he did. He just stopped.
No, sir.
No, sir, he did not give you any reason.
He did not give the reason why. He just say in the text message, I have a lot going on. That's what he told me.
Okay. And since then,
Since
nothing.
then, no, nothing. Yes.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Nothing further.
Okay. Mr. Trout, any further witnesses?
I'd call Mom, Danielle Jones, just real quick, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Jones, I know we don't have video together, but I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand for me.
Okay.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you will give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's very hard to hear you. You're going to have to speak up if you can, please.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah, that's better. Just keep your voice up for me.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ms. Jones, would you state your name for me, please?
Danielle Jones.
And Ms. Jones, you are the mother to Leonardo Martinez.
Yes, sir.
And where are you currently located?
Woodman State Jail, located in Gatesville, Texas.
Okay. And what are you there for?
I'm here for a second-degree felony of robbery and also a state jail felony of possession.
Okay. And you have a parole eligibility date coming up, is that correct?
Yes, sir. April 29th of 2025.
Okay. And your max release date or projected release date is November of 2028. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. And you're there, your charges, you in January pled to 4 years on one charge and 240 days on another charge. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you spoke to the judge about this earlier, but it's your intention at this time to complete an affidavit of voluntary relinquishment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Ms. Jones?
No questions, Your Honor.
I have a question just briefly.
All right.
Ms. Jones, how much credit do you have when you go before the parole board?
Right now I have 9 months and 24 days back time credit.
Are you hopeful that you'll be getting out when you see the parole board the first time?
Yes, I strongly believe I will be. I'm doing classes here, and I'm working towards building my strength and doing things in order to help me get stronger. And
Do you feel like the child is at a safe place right now?
yes, ma'am.
And are you wanting to relinquish because you feel like it's in the child's best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
I have no further questions. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Ms. Jones?
No further questions, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Trout, any further witnesses, or do you rest?
Department rest, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Archer?
No witnesses, Judge.
All right, do you rest?
I rest.
Ms. Naranjo?
I have no witnesses, Judge. Mr. Martinez would probably request that his rights not be terminated today.
Understand, okay. Ms. Zavala?
No witnesses, I rest.
Okay, Ms. Naranjo, I don't think you said it, but do you rest?
I do, Your Honor.
All right then, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation to make?
I do, Your Honor. I do believe it's in Leonardo's best interest for parental rights to be terminated on both parents. He is in a safe and loving home. He's doing very well. I am sad that we weren't able to get reunification with Dad, but I think he knew where we were headed, and his full disappearance, I think at this point, speaks volumes.
All right then. Okay, so have we gotten set on have we found a date and time that works for everybody? Is it gonna be the 1:30 on May 6th?
I'm good with that, Your Honor. I don't think I should have any issue.
Okay. All right then, we will just recess, and then I'll see everybody back May 6th at 1:30. Again, Ms. Jones, it's really important when Ms. Archer gets documents to you that you get those fully executed. The people in the law library are the ones that usually can help you with that.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when you get that, you'll need to talk with them and then get all that sent back to Ms. Archer. I'm sure she'll send it to you with postage and everything, so that all you've got to do is put it in a return envelope and send it back.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I wish you the best of luck, and I'm going to hold my ruling until we resume this then on May 6th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it, and y'all have a good rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe excuse.
Natalie,
Ma'am.
have we sent those paperwork over to you? You need me to send them? I can't
I
remember.
need you to send them.
Okay, all right, we'll get them sent over today.
Thank you.
Thank you.